Wednesday lunchtime yoga. I put Max in his room over there and set it up inside just so we're not getting that distinction of sunlight and shade, and it might be a little bit easier to see from this indoor setting. So we'll see how that goes today, but hope everyone's feeling really well. We're on, I think it's about week 4 for most people, could be longer for some, working from home. So hopefully everyone's coping okay, and I think it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride. I don't know about you, but some days I feel really good and it's all cool, and then other days I'm like, I just want to go back to work. I want to see people, I want to hug people, I want to talk to people. So yeah, hang in there. And I think it's great that we've got yoga that we can, you know, at least we're all in a kind of virtual meeting room together. So it feels a little bit like we're connected, and we can get to kind of just soften that. Whether you know it or not, there's a lot of stress in that outside world, and we pick up on it. So there's this thing called the conscious collective that we tap into, and so it's inevitable that we're all feeling some sort of level of stress because our lives have been turned upside down. So yoga is a really wonderful thing that can just bring you a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of peace, a little bit of calm, and yeah, I think it's a good thing. So we might do a little bit of hip work today, not massive hip work, but we will come to our Malasana, which is that yogi squat, that wide-legged squat, a couple of times just to gently open through the hips. And yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll move and flow around the mat. And I've put my mat on a slightly different angle. We'll see how that works today too. It's all new. And I think my tights are blending in with my mat, so hopefully that's okay. But if for now you can just find a nice comfortable seated position. We're not going to stay seated for too long. I'm going to sit cross-legged, and you can sit any way that you like, but I just want to take a few moments for all of us to close down our eyes and just ask yourself, how do I feel right now? How are you feeling in this very moment, in this lunchtime Wednesday class? So close down the eyes and notice, is your mind a little fuzzy or foggy? Is your head a little busy? Even though a lot of us are working from home, there's still a busyness I sense going on from all of that. And I had someone message me the other day who said, you know, we're working 8-9 hours at home, feeling like we're tethered to our desk. And I get that. It's hard to differentiate between when the day starts and the day ends working from home, unless you're really super disciplined. And it's like, okay, that's it, end, stop. So can we, wherever we're at, working from home, on a holiday, whatever it is, some of you are school teachers and you're on mid-semester break, can we just let whatever's happened for this week or this morning, whatever you choose to do, just let it slide off to the side. And try to bring your awareness to the 4 corners of the mat that you are on. So you're not letting your mind wander too much to what you have on after the class, and you're not stuck in what's happened in the morning. Let it just dissolve or melt away to the sides. And start to bring some awareness to your breath. Just notice the breath coming in and out of the nostril. And notice how this in-breath will give you an opportunity to start to expand. And I want you to slow the breath down, consciously slow your breath down. And then be aware of how you're able to expand your breath through the front, the back, and the sides of the chest. Just the chest here. And that gentle, just soft lifting of the shoulders. And then notice how, as you exhale, there's that softness that enters into the body. So we feel everything just come back to its usual position. And it does have this ebb of softness around it, because if the shoulders rise a little, they soften back down. And if the chest lifts a little, it softens back in. So I want you to keep that expansion, softness analogy through our whole class today, so that as we come to a pose that we might hold for a little bit longer, using that breath to expand and open up the body on the inhale and that softness on the exhale. And let yourself just have a little body scan here to just check for areas of tension and tightness. So take a scan from your head all the way down to your toes. And let yourself move a little here. So let your head gently turn from side to side. And maybe a little up and down. You might give the shoulders a little roll to see how everything's feeling. And maybe even let your torso move from side to side. And that often will give you a little bit of an idea of what's happening through your glutes and maybe even your hip flexors. And maybe a gentle rocking back and forth will just start to open up a little through the chest and start to bring a little bit of movement to your backbone and to your spine. And you can just check in and notice, where is there tension or tightness for you? So my shoulders are feeling a little tense and tight today, because yesterday I did a class with weights, and I haven't done a class with weights for a few weeks, and I'm feeling it today, which I knew I would. So that's just something for me. That means I need maybe some extra stretching and some extra holding, or sending the breath in a little bit more so I can stretch out a little. The trapezium muscles, the sides of my neck are a little sore. So these are the kinds of things we just bring to our awareness and wrap a little bit of awareness around them, so that if something doesn't feel quite right or good for you as we move through our flow, then you don't have to do it. Just permission to come to child's pose. And we're going to actually come to child's pose in a few minutes and start our flow from that point. But I just want to move the back around a little bit before we come into that child's pose. So nothing's compulsory, it's all completely voluntary. So what we might do now is just come back and I want us to take 3 yogic diaphragmatic deep belly breaths here. So close down your eyes and bring your right hand onto your belly and your left hand onto your chest. And just with a nice slow breath, follow the breath in, draw it in through the nostrils. Let it come all the way through the lungs and let it land in the belly. And feel a little lift of the hand on the belly before the one on the chest as we let that breath rise all the way up. Kind of like a wave, yeah? So we've sent the breath down and then we're letting it rise up. And then we release it on the exhale. Breath leaves the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs. Diaphragm muscle shifts up a little and that navel draws softly in towards your spine. So let's go again, eyes closed down. See the breath going down the back of the throat through the lungs. Feel and visualize the diaphragm muscle dropping a little as we send the breath towards the belly, and feel the belly expand front, back, and sides. And as that breath continues to rise and expand into the chest, feel the collarbones lift a little and allow the ribcage to expand to the edges of the skin or beyond. And then that softness on the exhale, breath leaves top of the lungs, bottom of the lungs. The diaphragm muscle shifts up just a little, and that breath lastly leaves the belly, navel drawing softly in towards your spine. So take one more breath in your own time. And then we'll peel the eyes open here, and with our next inhalation, bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and then exhale, guide the hands down to the heart. And let's go again. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale down. And with your next inhalation, just let the fingers touch here, and on the exhale, let your right hand come down. Left arm reaches to the right. And can we inhale and come back through T-arm, and exhale over to the left? And then let's go again. Inhale through those T-arms, exhale to the right, and I want you to hold here. And just feel into this nice stretch down the left side of the body, yeah? See if you can soften a little through that elbow, and if your shoulder's up around the ear, gently drop it down. We want to feel this lovely stretch coming down the outside of that shoulder blade. So maybe you move and flow a little here. Inhale, pressing the floor away through that right hand. And exhale, drop even deeper. And let's go again. Inhale and exhale. And then with your next inhalation, bring the hands back to meet in prayer. And exhale, guide the hands all the way to the navel or solar plexus. Fingers interlace here. Draw the hands towards the chin, elbows lift nice and high on the inhale, and then round through your spine. Go nice and slow here, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, lift the arms. And as you exhale, release those hands slowly behind, interlace the fingers. Take a breath in, hands towards the floor. Lift up and away from the buttocks. Now, as you draw the shoulders back, broaden the collarbones, and now I can feel that tightness through my shoulders from working with weights yesterday. So maybe send your gaze towards the ceiling. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, bring the hands back to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms, let your fingers touch. And exhale, let that left hand come down, right arm reaching. And we'll inhale, come back through T-arms. And exhale over to the right. And let's go again. Inhale and exhale. And holding on this side as we soften through the elbow, dropping that shoulder so it's not up around the ear, drop it down. Feeling this lovely stretch down the right side of the body. And seeing if we can use the breath. Inhaling, creating space. Exhaling, softening and dropping a little deeper into this nice crescent C shape. Let's go again. Inhale. And exhale. Take one more. Pressing the floor away on the breath in and softening and going a little deeper on the breath out. Let's inhale now, bring the hands back to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands all the way to the navel or solar plexus. Fingers interlace here. Inhale, guide the hands towards the chin with the elbows nice and high, and exhale, round through that spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale now, bring the hands towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, take a nice slow release, bringing the hands behind, fingers interlaced here. Draw the hands towards the floor, lift a little up and away from the buttocks. The shoulders come back and the collarbones broaden, and maybe send that gaze to the ceiling with the breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands to the heart. We'll take a twist here before we come to our tabletop. So inhale, let your fingers touch. We'll twist to the right on the exhale. Left hand finds the right knee, right hand comes behind. So lift and lengthen with your breath in. And on the breath out, draw the shoulder, ribcage, chest, and lastly, let your head and neck follow. And let's do that again. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, shoulder, ribcage, chest, lastly, head and neck. One more breath. So use your next inhale now. Guide your head and neck back to center. Let the hands meet in prayer. And on the exhale, guide the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Let your fingers touch. And we'll twist to the left now. Right hand finds the left knee. Left hand comes behind. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. And on the exhale, the shoulder, ribcage, chest. Lastly, the head and neck. So the head and neck is always just a fraction of a second behind the rest of the body. And that just protects our neck. One more breath. And then let's inhale. Guide the head and neck back to center. Bring the hands to meet in prayer. And exhale, guide the hands to the heart. Now we're going to change or transition to our hands and knees. And any way you get there is fine. I like to inhale, lift the arms towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bring the hands out in front. So you're going to come onto your knees and uncross your feet. And then position yourself on your mat. So you're about halfway, and we can start to come into a few rounds of cat and cow here. So on your inhale, let the belly drop. Draw the chest forward. You can either gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling. And then on the exhale, feel like you're pressing the floor away as you round through the spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. Let's go again. Inhale. The belly drops, the chest comes forward. Gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling. And then exhale, round through your spine. One more time, one more time. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale to curl. And then from that nice neutral spine, can we bring our hands all the way out to find our puppy pose? So as you inhale, feel like you're filling that chest and lifting that chest nice and high. And then on the exhale, we start to sink chin and chest down towards the floor. And feel as if you're drawing your breastbone as close as you can to the mat as well here. You can have your chin resting on the mat or your forehead, whatever feels more comfortable here for your neck. So we want to use that breath, maybe lift a little on the inhale and then see if you can drop a little deeper, bringing chin and chest, bringing that breastbone a little closer to the mat. One more breath. And then use your next inhale, start to press the floor away, but we'll just walk our hands halfway back and come forward and find a nice low plank here. So take a breath in, and on the breath out, can we lower just halfway? And then inhale to press the floor away. Tuck your toes here, exhale back and find a nice active child's pose. Let's go again. Inhale, forward, nice low plank. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale to press the floor away, and exhale back, finding that active child's pose. So one more time, inhale. This time on the exhale, let's lower all the way to the floor. And we'll bring our hands just a fraction wider than our shoulders. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, hug the elbows in. And as you inhale, start to peel your chest off the mat. And we're going to roll 3 of these cobras. Exhale to lower. And let's go again. Inhale, peel the chest. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Hold here. Drop the shoulders a little away from the ears. Hug the elbows in. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Start to squeeze your glutes together. Take a nice deep breath in here. And then on the breath out, let's lower back to the mat. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift through that nice low plank. And as you exhale, find your way back to that active child's pose. Now I want you to walk your fingers a little further to the front of the mat and come up onto the palms of your hands. Kind of like spider fingers, or imagine that underneath your hands is sitting a cupcake with icing and you don't want to squash the icing with the palms of your hands. So we're getting just another opportunity this time to open through the chest, but to actually stretch down through the backs of those shoulders as well. So let's bring the hands now back onto the mat. And as you inhale, find your way back to your tabletop. And can we just thread the needle here? We'll inhale, take that right arm up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, slide that arm underneath the left. Bring the right side of your face down onto the mat. Now left hand can stay here. Or you might walk it to the top of the mat and over to that right corner. So we're drawing that right shoulder back towards us, but having a little peek underneath the left arm as well. One more breath. And then let's slide that left hand back underneath the shoulder. Inhale, press the floor away. Now on the exhale, we're going to find that puppy pose once again. But this time we're going to take those spider fingers or cupcake fingers, maybe we can call them. So come onto the pads of your fingers here. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, sink the chest down towards the mat. So we're on those spider fingers, the pads of our fingers. But we're in puppy pose this time. One more breath, one more breath. Sink chin and chest, breastbone reaching for the mat. And then let's lift up with our inhale, palms of the hands back on the floor. We'll walk the hands again, just a hand's length back. Come forward with an inhale for a nice low plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor here. Now let's take our hands completely off the mat. Walk them forward a little. Find those spider fingers once again, bit of a theme today. And inhale, find your striking cobra. Peel the chest off the mat. On the exhale, if your shoulders have come up a little towards the ears, relax the shoulders, hug the elbows in, squeeze the glutes, and all 10 toes press into the mat. Take another breath in. And then as you breathe out, lower back to the floor. And let's bring hands back underneath our shoulders. Tuck toes, lift through that nice low plank. Exhale back, find that active child's pose. Just for a breath. And then we'll use our next breath to come back through tabletop. Draw the hands back underneath the shoulders and we'll thread the needle on the other side. So let's inhale, take that left arm up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, slide that arm underneath the right. Left side of the face comes down onto the mat now. Your right hand walks to the top of the mat and over to the left corner. So we can feel that nice stretch down the back of the left side of the shoulder and opening up into the right side of the chest. One more breath. And then let's slide that right hand back underneath the shoulder. Inhale to press the floor away. And one last time we'll find that puppy pose. On the exhale, hands out in front. Find those spider fingers. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, lower chin and chest towards the mat. One more breath. So we should be nice and open through the chest. Shoulders getting a nice stretch. Next inhalation, press the floor away. Bring the hands back onto the mat or the palms of the hands back onto the floor. We're going to come now and find our downward facing dog. So tuck your toes and we'll move our way there. As you inhale, lift your knees off the mat. And as you exhale, the heels come down towards the floor. But can we move a little here? Inhale, let the knees hover over the mat, hover the tabletop. Exhale back to your down dog. And can we go again? Inhale, hover the knees, exhale back. So now we can hold here and take a little pedal through your downward facing dog. So inhale, lift onto your toes. And as you exhale, let one heel at a time come down towards the floor. So we're gently shifting the weight. Now I don't know if you can hear my ankles cracking, but they are, and that's okay. Nice and slow, gently pedaling the feet. Now I like to take a twist in my down dog. So you could lift onto your toes and slide the heels to the right, bend the knees and press the floor away. And then slide the heels to the left, bend the knees and press the floor away. And then come back to center here. And just check that your feet are hip distance, that your hands are shoulder width. Now, it doesn't matter if your heels reach the floor or not. Mine don't. I have a little bit of softness through the knees. It's more important that we send that tailbone towards the floor and feel as if we're drawing our rib cage towards the thighs. Press firmly through the palms of the hands. The two-piece fingers face the front of the room. And then let's look between our hands, and you can walk or step or jump. So you could take one step
2 steps as you inhale. And then on the exhale, bend your knees and let your chest rest on your thighs and take hold of opposite elbows. And just take a moment in this ragdoll pose. Let your body swing or sway from side to side. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Shake the head, yes, no, maybe. And then can you bring your hands onto the floor? And as you take your next inhalation, take a nice slow spinal roll. Feel bone step on bone. And we can bring the hands to find a tall mountain pose here. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And just take a moment, just take a breath. We haven't stood up for a little while, so let everything start to settle. Connect again through your body. Feel the soles of the feet pressing down into the mat. Soften the shoulders. Maybe you gently draw the pubic bone towards the navel so the tailbone dips towards the floor. Now let's inhale, bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, take a forward fold, tip from the hips, bend your knees as much as you need to here. So once again, if your hamstrings are still a little tight, take a moment to shift the weight, to bend through one leg and straighten through the other. And notice how the backs of the legs are feeling. You should feel this through the calves, the backs of the knees, into the hamstring, maybe even through the glutes a little. And then come to stillness and use your next inhale. Let's find a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale, Uttanasana, and step your right leg to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge. Now we're going to drop down through the back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Now, as you exhale, we're going to open to the side, to the left, and just reach the fingers as long as we can here. Take a breath in. On the breath out, let the right hand find the back of that right thigh. Left arm can reach towards the ceiling. So feel like you're drawing this right knee to the front of the mat. Slowly drawing the left heel back so you're squeezing those inner thighs together. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, release the left hand. We're going to windmill that right hand and just bring your left hand to the inside of that left foot and heel toe your foot a little wider. And from here, just gently start to come out onto the outer blade of that left foot. Now, it may be only a small move for you. That's okay. We're just slowly starting to open in to the inner thigh and a little into the hips. So just go as low as you can. Be mindful, be mindful. And then slowly let the sole of the foot come back down onto the floor. And we'll heel toe that left foot back between our hands. You want to tuck the toes on the right foot, lift the right knee. And we slide that left leg to the back of the mat. Now we can find an individual plank. So you can drop your knees here and come to low plank, or you can stay in high plank. Your choice. Wherever you are, though, don't let your chest sag. You want to press the floor away. Get a little bit of abdomen or rounding through the upper back. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, let's lower to the floor. We'll find a cobra again, Hands are slightly wider than your shoulders. Inhale, peel your chest off the mat. Exhale to lower. And then bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift through your plank. High or low with an inhale. Exhale back. We find that downward facing dog. Look between your hands and walk or step your feet to the front of the mat with a breath in. And on the breath out, rest your chest onto your thighs. And from here, with hands on the floor, can you heel toe your feet a little wider to the edge of the mat? Take a breath in, and on the breath out, let's sink down into our Malasana. Now, you may only get to here, that's okay. You may need to move a little from side to side to ease into our first Malasana. And then when you're ready, perhaps you sink the butt down a little, bring the hands into prayer, and you can use the elbows to press on the inside of those upper inner thighs. Take one more breath. And then bring your hands back onto the floor. Lift halfway, heel toe your feet back in. Beautiful. And then as you inhale, take a nice slow spinal roll that takes you back to that tall mountain pose, hands in prayer. And can we exhale, let ourselves float back down onto the mat, tipping from the hip crease. Inhale, find your halfway lift, your flat back, your Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. And this time, left leg steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge, dropping down through the back knee. We inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, let's turn to the right here. Opening through that chest to the right side, reaching the fingers of the left hand out nice and long, the right hand back behind us. Take an inhale, come back through center. Exhale, let the left hand now find the back of the left thigh. The right arm lifts towards the ceiling. So feel like this left knee is drawing to the front of the mat. The right heel is drawing back, and we're opening up a little more through the chest. Take a nice deep breath in. On the breath out, the right hand comes down. We windmill the left hand. And we'll take the right hand to the inside of that right foot. Heel toe the foot a little bit wider here. So all we're really interested in doing here is just slowly coming onto the outer blade of that right foot and drawing that knee out to the side. Now, it may only be a really, really small move for you. It may be a bigger move. But we should feel a nice stretch through the hip flexor on this left side, as well as opening in to the inner right thigh, the adductor. Slowly bring that foot back onto the mat. And can we heel toe that foot back between the hands? Tuck the toes on the left foot, lift the left knee. We're going to slide that right leg to the back of the mat. Find a plank, high or low, your choice. Take a breath in. On the breath out, let's lower all the way to the floor. Hands can come this time besides the body for Shalabhasana, locust pose. Engage the core, thighs, torso, arms float off the mat. Toes and fingers draw to the wall behind, crown of the head to the wall in front. Now notice if you draw your shoulder blades a little more in towards the spine, that you can lift your chest a little more. If you squeeze your glutes a little more, you can lift your thighs a little more. Take one more breath in. On the breath out, lower back to the floor. Hands under shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, find your downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, we can walk, we can step, we can jump to the front of the mat with the breath in. On the breath out, rest your chest onto your thighs, and can we heel toe those feet again to the edges of the mat? And let's sink down, find our malasana. Maybe you only come halfway, maybe you move a little, feel into it. And when you're ready, come to stillness. We can make this one a little active. So if you feel, you could bring your left hand onto the floor and take the right arm up towards the ceiling. You could take that hand behind your back. Right hand on the floor. Take the left arm up towards the ceiling, or maybe you bring it behind your back, whatever feels better for you here. Take a breath in. On the breath out, release the hands back to the floor. Start to lift your buttock. Heel toe your feet back to hip distance. Use your next inhale to take that nice slow spinal roll all the way to find that tall mountain pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's take a breath here. Just let everything settle before we take our next flow. So inhale, lift the arms. This time we might try a swan dive. On the exhale, lead with the chest. Bring the arms out nice and wide. Inhale, find your halfway lift, your Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to your forward fold. Can we send the right leg to the back of the mat? Nice big long runner's lunge. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sink down into this high crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. So just spend a little time here setting this up. Can you press a little into the ball of the right foot, lift the heel, slide it back a little, engage the hamstring. Soften your shoulders. Take one more breath. And then take an inhale here, and as you exhale, we're going to open to the left. Feeling that nice twist through the torso, reaching the fingers of the right hand out to the front, the back hand out to the back. Inhale now, come back through center. Exhale, let's find cactus arms as we sink a little lower into Anjaneyasana, elbows nice and wide. And then can you feel here like you're drawing that right hip forward a little? We want to squeeze inner thighs together. Maybe send your gaze to the ceiling with the breath in. And then on the breath out, let's release the hands to frame the front foot. And while we're here, we'll just slide the hips back and give that hamstring a little bit of loving. Not doing a lot of big hamstring stuff today, but nice to give it a little bit of a hello. So you could use the breath here, gently drawing that chest a little forward and down over that front thigh. So let's bend back into that left leg. Now what I'm going to get you to do here is keep the right hand on the mat and inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. So we take this nice twist through the body. Take a breath in. On the breath out, release the left hand to the floor, but draw the elbow back up into the side of the waist. And as you inhale, lift again for Anjaneyasana. Right hand comes forward. It's like we've got a bow and arrow here. So make a fist with your left hand. Take an inhale. Exhale, let that go. And draw that hand once again to the back of the room. So we're in this nice, open-chested, twisted Anjaneyasana. Inhale now, bring the hands back to center. Exhale, bring them down to frame the front foot. Now we'll slide this left leg to the back of the mat. Now you can take a cobra here or locust, or maybe try an up dog with me if you want to. Take a breath in. On the breath out, we lower halfway. Slide forward onto the tops of our feet. Lift the hips off the floor, the thighs, the knees. Take a breath in, and on the breath out, we roll back onto our toes. Find that downward facing dog. Look between your hands, walk, step, jump your feet to the front of the mat with an inhale. As you exhale, let your chest rest onto your thighs. Heel toe your feet to the outside of the mat. Find your malasana. Now, maybe you're feeling that you're easing a little more into this malasana. Your choice, active. So you can, again, place the right hand on the floor, bring the left arm up. Change sides. Take a breath with hands towards the heart, sink down a little deeper. And then bring your hands to the floor. Wade into the hands, inhale, lift halfway. Heel toe your feet. Back to hip distance as you exhale. And then use your next inhalation to take that nice, slow spinal roll. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's take the other side. Inhale, lift the arm. Let's swan dive. Exhale, lead with the chest, arms out nice and wide, hands to the floor. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to your forward fold. Left leg this time steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge. Keep that knee lifted. Inhale. High crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. So exhale, just let yourself sink down first. Soften the shoulders. A little press through the ball of the left foot. Lift the heel, slide it back just a little. Nice. Now let's inhale, lift through the torso, and as we exhale, turn to the right. So we take this little twisted Anjaneyasana. Right fingers drawing back, left fingers drawing to the front. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, sink again into your Anjaneyasana. And then take a breath in, and on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot, and let's just slide the hips back into this kind of pyramid variation. So our hamstring gets a little bit of love because it's not getting a lot of attention today. Normally the hamstrings get lots and lots of attention. It's more hips today. Let's send the weight back into that right foot. Left hand stays on the mat, and we inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling, pressing firmly through that left palm, opening up a little more through the chest. Take a breath in here, and on the breath out, release the right hand to the mat. But then we want to draw that elbow in towards the waist. Inhale, lift the left arm, keep it parallel to the floor. Make a little fist through that right arm. Imagine there's something in your life you'd like to let go of now, like we've got a bow and arrow. Release that and bring that left arm back out behind you and turn again to the right, or right arm back out behind you. Take a breath in. On the next breath, turn back to the front of the room. Exhale the hands down to frame the front foot. Slide your right foot to the back of the mat. Take your connecting vinyasa. Could be up dog, could be cobra. Find your way back to your downward facing dog. And from here, let's just take a moment in child's pose. So let your knees come to the floor. Untuck your toes this time. Sink your buttocks down onto your heels, forehead towards the mat. Hands can stay out in front, or maybe they come to the sides of the body. They could rest over the soles of your feet. Close down your eyes and just take 3 breaths in your downward facing dog. Not downward facing dog, your child's pose, Balasana. And then let's bring our hands back out in front. And as we inhale, we'll lift back through tabletop and draw one knee at a time towards our hands at the front of the mat. Cross your feet, sitting down on your mat now. And we're just going to take a few moves before we come down fully onto our back. So what I'd like you to do is just bring your hands behind you like this. And just bring your feet out in front. And maybe we'll heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat and take a little bit of a palate cleanser, a little bit of a windscreen wiper. And then can you come back through center and take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. I'll turn front on so you can see. So what we're taking here is a variation of pigeon pose. Sometimes we do this before lying down, but today we're taking it a little bit different. So setting up like this, and then I'll guide you. So if you want to go a little deeper, draw the left heel in a little more, and maybe you slide your buttock in a little closer. And then you can move your hands in a little bit more as well. And perhaps here you lift, not perhaps, lift your chest, flex the foot. And we want to feel that nice stretch into that right glute. So I need to move in a little more and move my hands in a little more to get the full benefit of this stretch. So this is a variation of pigeon, not lying down on our back, slightly different. It's kind of cool. Nice. Okay, so we're going to keep with this nice stretch on the right glute, through the right glute. So you might walk your hands back a little more. All you're going to do this time is straighten your left leg, and the right leg should already be over the left leg. We're going to twist to the right. So let's hug that right knee in with the left hand. Flex the toes of the left foot. Bring that right hand behind. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, that head and neck turns to the back of the room. So use each breath in to lift and lengthen through the crown of the head and through the spine. So we're creating space through each individual vertebra. And each breath out to soften more into that twist. So we draw the shoulder, then the rib cage, then the chest. Let's use that next inhale to guide that head and neck back through center. Now I want you to keep the leg crossed and see if you can draw your right knee pretty much on top of the left knee here. So we're in a slightly different pose. I don't think I've done this with you before. So this is something a bit new for us. And all we're going to do here is bring our hands to the sides of the leg, take a breath in, and then just as deep as you can go, and it may only be a few centimeters, that is fine. Bring the chest down over that front thigh. Now we don't want to round through here, so keep the breastbone lifted, and it might just be a small move. And now we're getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch through that left leg as well. Okay, let's slowly walk the hands back. Now bring them back behind, uncross your legs and bring them to the edge of the mat and take that little windscreen wiper, palate cleanser. Now come back through center, and you might heel toe your feet back in. Now we cross the left ankle over the right knee, setting up for that figure 4 pigeon. And just make the adjustments that you need to. So maybe you need to draw that foot in a little closer, slide your butt in a little closer, move your hands in a little closer, flex the left foot, and feel like you're drawing that left knee out to the side. We want to feel that stretch through the left side of the glute and into the piriformis a little bit as well. Lift the chest, don't round through the shoulders. It's a different way to do pigeon, it's sort of nice for a change. One more breath. Okay, so all we want to do here is maybe slide the butt back a little if you brought it in really close like I did, and straighten the right leg. And then the left leg's already crossed, so we just bring it all the way over, hug the left knee in with the right hand, left hand comes behind, inhale to lift and lengthen, toes of the right foot draw back towards the shin, exhale, shoulder, rib cage, chest, head and neck. And notice the more you hug that right knee in, the more you're opening up into this left piriformis and glute. Those of you that don't know, I had a big piriformis issues at the end of last year and was in much pain. So I'm very aware now of how that can affect the lower back. Okay, let's bring the head and neck back to center with the next breath in. And all we want to do is cross this left knee as best we can over the right knee. So if you can line them up, that's good. If you can't, that's fine. Bring the hands down in front, take a breath in, and be mindful not to round through the spine, to keep the chest lifted. So we opened our chest quite a lot in the beginning of the class with lots of extended puppy pose, and we did those nice active child's poses as well. So chest should be nice and open, and we opened our hips a lot as well. So this is why I wanted to finish with a little stretch through the glutes. One more breath. And then let's start to walk the hands all the way back behind us, uncross our legs, take one last little windscreen wiper action before we make our way down onto our backs for our Shivasana. So I don't know about you, but I need to move myself a little bit forward here. Inhale, lift the arms, and on the exhale, can you go nice and slow? Feel vertebra by vertebra. Come down onto the mat, use your core. And bring your knees into the chest and just give them a nice gentle squeeze, and you might rock a little over the mat here. Perhaps you feel to take some circles with the knees, giving that little massage into the glutes and the lower back, and change direction. And then pause and hug the knees in, and can you interlace your fingers over the shins and lift your head and shoulders off the floor. So curling into this little seed pod, this little cosmic end. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, lower the head and shoulders and extend your left leg to the bottom of the mat. Keep the right knee in. Right arm comes out to the side. We're going to lift our hips, slide them a few centimeters to the right, and then bring that right leg over to the left. So your left hand is just gently drawing that knee perhaps a little closer to the floor. And if it's okay with your neck, you could turn your head to the right. So a nice opportunity to massage all those spongy discs that sit between each and every one of those vertebrae. Let's bring that left arm back out onto the floor, roll back onto your back. And as your right foot touches down, draw the left foot in to join it. Lift the hips, slide them back into the center. Draw the knees into the chest. Lift head and shoulders off the floor. We curl into that little seed pod, that little cosmic egg shape. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, lower your head and shoulders. Lower your feet to the floor. Arms come out to the, no, we extend the right leg to the floor. Whoops. Left leg stays down on the mat. And no, left knee into your chest. Sorry, guys. Lost my train of thought for a moment. So we're going to slide the hips a little over to the left and bring that left leg over to the right. Now I've got it. See, when you let your awareness go out of the room for just a second, and I allowed myself to be present this in a later time, I was thinking about this evening, and then I lost my train of thought. So there you go. That's what happened. Let's slide the right hand back out to the side, roll back onto your back, and as that left foot touches down, bring the right foot in to join it and bring the hips back to center. Now we could finish off with our happy baby here. Draw the knees in, separate the knees, take hold of the outer blades of your feet or the ankles. So soles of the feet come towards the ceiling, and we draw the thighs and knees towards the floor, tailbone forward, and separate the feet. And you just rock a little from side to side if you're really happy baby. Up to you. And then make any other moves that you feel or your body feels that needs to. I can straighten my legs here and lift the head and shoulders off the floor and feel into a nice stretch again through the inner thighs. But whatever you need to do, feel into that. And then we'll make our way down into Shivasana. So when you're ready, let your feet touch down below the buttocks and then extend one foot at a time to the bottom of your mat. Let the feet open out to the side. Bring the arms to the sides of the body, flip the palms. Fingers gently curl into the palms and close down your eyes, and let yourself just start to feel heavy on your mat. Let that heaviness drop you a little deeper into the mat. And start to feel our softness through the muscles, through the skin. All of the work has now been done. There's nothing left to do. You just now get to be on your mat in this space and feeling all of the goodness, all of the gifts that your practice has to offer, feeling them integrate into your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever resonates with you here. So let your body soften. Feel your toes soften. The soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, your ankles, the shins, the calves, the knees, the backs of the knees, the thighs, the backs of the thighs. Allow your hips to soften and your pelvis, and feel the glutes drop a little down into the mat. Abdomen, belly, chest, and the lower back, the middle back, the upper back starts to drop a little down into the mat, but you're feeling this beautiful softness through the torso. The internal organs soften, the muscles start to feel like they're melting off the body. Let your shoulders drop a little deeper. Feel the shoulder blades drop into the mat, and then soften through the upper arms and the elbows, the forearms, the wrists. Each individual finger, let it drop
into the palm. And then bring awareness to the muscles through your jaw and see if you can soften and release the jaw, the cheeks. Feel any tension just dissolve out of the forehead. So your forehead is smooth and creaseless. Back of the head drops a little deeper into the mat. And you let go even more. And you'll feel sometimes your thoughts rising up. And what I've learned to do is invite them in. Invite them in, welcome them with no attachment, and watch them just dissolve. When we fight their arrival and when we fight their existence, we're using our energy. We don't want to do that. Just welcome them in. In a way, it's a sense of just observation. You can start now just to allow your breath to begin to slowly deepen. Bringing your awareness back to your space on the mat and your position in the room. Letting that awareness slowly expand beyond the four corners of the mat that you are on to the four corners of the room that we are in or you are in. Four corners maybe of the Zoom room. And then let your awareness go beyond that. Start to notice the sounds outside. The world outside gently making its way back into your awareness, but resisting the urge to name or label anything that you're hearing. And then allow the sound of the bells to guide you back to your physical body here on the mat inside this space. And start to invite some little flickers of movement and energy into your fingers and your toes. Maybe you rotate through your wrists and your ankles. Let your head gently move from side to side. You could extend your arms overhead so fingers reach to the wall behind and your toes to the wall in front. Give them a little wiggle and take a nice deep breath in, letting your body become as long as it possibly can. Feel yourself re-emerging, re-entering into your day. Bend your knees and make your way over to your favorite side. So you're resting your head in your upper arm and your forearm. And just close down your eyes and take as much time as you need here to fully integrate all of today's practice into your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic body. And as you feel ready, you could slowly, mindfully make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. And keep your eyes closed down and bring your hands into prayer so your thumbs rest gently in on your sternum. Just take a moment here to check back in, notice how you're feeling at the end of practice, your practice. And then bring awareness into your heart space. And just notice how it feels. And today we're just going to finish with a little metta prayer, loving kindness prayer. May you be safe. May you be well. May you be healthy. May you be content. May you live with ease and grace. May all beings be safe. May all beings be well. May all beings be healthy. May we all live together with ease and grace. Thank you so much for joining me for our Wednesday Zoom yoga. Not compulsory, but if you'd like to join me in closing the class, we could chant together 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Take a nice deep breath in. And take another inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks, guys.